The school year has started with that, all the commitments and fall business that comes with it, and I needed to regain that sense of peace and well-being that comes from a clean, well-ordered house. I needed to find a moment in the busy to allow myself to slow down and play house, enjoy my house. It's hard to let go, but then something happened. My boys had their monthly service project, and so I unexpectedly had a morning to myself just with the girls. Our house had gotten out of control, and you know that feeling when there's dust everywhere and little piles of junk accumulating, and you start to feel that sense of unease. Well, we started back to school, and I am the teacher, and that is how come the house has gotten out of order. So, with this morning, I decided to do a whole house reset. If you're new around here, hi, I'm Kathleen. 8 years ago, my husband and I bought a fixer-upper farmhouse in rural Kentucky, and we've been loving it back to life slowly ever since. I love to share about European country decor styles, finding your personal style, and feeling great in your clothes. I post a new video each week, and I would love if you hit that subscribe button and notification bell so that you can hang out with me each week. I ended up deciding that my kitchen needed a ton of attention, so I'm very time optimistic, so it quickly went from I will get the whole house reset while the boys are out this morning to I will reset the kitchen and just relax and do a deep dive into my kitchen. We are really lucky in that our big kids have learned how to do the dishes, and they do them every night, and my workload is much less than when they were small. But they don't see everything that mom sees. I'm sure that you can relate to this. And so while they were out, I decided to just enjoy my unkitchen. I have a lot of videos about the unkitchen. We had to redesign our kitchen in 2017. So as I deep cleaned my kitchen, I took my time and I thought about kitchen design and unkitchens, and the recent Wall Street Journal article I read about, quote, the new rules of kitchens, meaning like, they used to tell you that you needed that triangle work zone. Well, apparently now, I don't know if it's a trend or if just things are changing, but they interviewed some interior designers, and this is what they had to say. Instead of that work triangle, you need more of zones, like the sink, dishwasher, trash zone. And I thought that was pretty cool because we actually have a zone like that in our kitchen already. We don't really have a work triangle, and I really like how it works. We've got the sink and then the dishwasher straight across. Right now, in fact, the dishwasher's pulled out because my husband is working on it or waiting on a part. And so in the meantime, I put my trash can and compost bucket in that little housing area, and I love it. They used to be to the side of the sink, which wasn't as convenient. I love that they have their own little house over there now, but I don't know if I love it well enough to not get the dishwasher back. It's been very interesting not having a dishwasher. It's been an adjustment for all of us. In some ways, oddly enough, if you're disciplined about it, you can keep your kitchen cleaner because I have noticed that will push to do, or I will push to do the dishes, get the dishes done right away, instead of dishwashers. They do lend themselves to this, like, let's let stuff sit around because it's sitting in the dishwasher, but nonetheless it's kind of a culture of dishes sitting around. So we've been doing them. But I think that's a great idea to have your sink and your dishwasher and your trash all together in a zone. The other things that they mentioned that I found interesting were, now this isn't really new. I've been hearing this forever. No upper cabinets. Upper cabinets make everything dark and they're passé or whatever. Well, I like upper cabinets. I do and I don't. I don't like the banks of upper cabinets, but what we did in our kitchen was we consolidated all the upper cabinets into one area, and we made that look sort of like a kitchen dresser as best we could. It's obviously upper and lower shelves, but the idea is that it's sort of a gigantic kitchen dresser like they had back in the day in like an English country house or something like that. And I disagreed with the designers when they say, some open shelves are pretty where you can arrange things. In my experience, open shelves just get really messy and everything gets that like greasy kitchen film all over it over time. So I don't like them. I would I don't mind, they look great at other people's houses. I don't see them and think, oh, but it's just, uppers are so practical. But I do like the idea of making your uppers look like a piece of furniture. That I really do like. The other trends that they mentioned were, or not, I don't know if it's trends or the new rules, no sink in your island. So we have this big countertop in here is a central island. It's an island. I like to pretend it's a work table, but it really is an island, a kitchen island. And our old kitchen that came with the house did have a sink in the island, and so I know by comparison that it is way better. I completely agree to not have a sink in the island. It just makes the island so cluttery, and it makes it so that you can't use that whole big beautiful flat workspace. So I thought there was a lot of common sense in that one. And then the last one I really liked as well, because it was the idea of not looking so matchy matchy with your appliance finishes. Now, I certainly do not look matchy matchy with my appliance finishes. It's more of a collected over time look, if you will. We've got, so they suggested maybe 3 different finishes. Would be good, would be fine. And I'm going to take a minute and count here. Let's see, I've got a different fridge, a different microwave, a different dishwasher. So I'm up to 4. So I might need to cut back on that if I can a little bit. But 3 appliance finishes looks collected, and you don't have to worry about being so matchy matchy because, let's face it, and then break down and then you replace it with something that is different. So I'm currently our dishwasher is white, and I'm looking forward to someday I would love to get a vintagey looking white stove. I'm really tired of stainless steel appliances. I walked out in my garden to harvest my tomatoes, and then I remembered my basil plants. I had kind of forgotten about them for some reason, and they were full of leaves. So I decided to pick them all and make a big old batch of pesto. I often substitute cashews for pine nuts in the pesto recipe because pine nuts are so expensive. They come in a teeny little container, and I really love how the cashews taste in here. I washed up all that basil and I spun it out in my salad spinner. I just got this one. It's really great. It's a Cuisinart, and I really like it a lot. Spinning salad is so much fun. It's one of those tiny little things in life that's really fun. I've always enjoyed it. I never had a salad spinner until I grew up and got married. We didn't have one growing up at home, and I don't know how I ever lived without one. They are amazing. Grating Parmesan cheese is also another one of life's small pleasures. I really enjoy it, and I just enjoyed being able to slow down today and take some time to do these mundane tasks and not pressure myself to rush through the day. Just enjoy the feel of the cheese against the grater and the salad or the basil leaves spinning around in my salad spinner. These are the moments. Enough basil leaves to make a triple batch of pesto, which I'm really excited about. Pesto is one of my all-time favorite summer foods, right up there with gazpacho. When I was out harvesting the tomatoes and basil, I had noticed that the goldenrod is in bloom. Goldenrod is the state flower of Kentucky, and it does cause a lot of post nasal drip, but it is a beautiful yellow, perfect for fall. And so I decided to go back out and cut some wildflowers and goldenrod and make an arrangement on this day. This is what I call playing house. It's when you get to just step back and play and enjoy, do something that's just to bring in some beauty and for no other purpose. So I had a lot of fun. Fun's not even the word, it's just a solace and a relaxing, much needed, peaceful moment to just take some things that are growing wild in your yard and stop and think, wow, these are just growing wild, no effort, and yet on my part, and yet you go out and there are these beautiful ferns and goldenrod, and they all look so perfect together. The color palette is stunning, and I just get to bring these in my house and enjoy them. I hope that you are inspired in your homemaking to bring in some of nature's bounty, whether it be something to eat or something to look at. There's so many beautiful things outside this time of year in the fall. Thank you so much for spending this time with me as I enjoyed my house and relaxed. And I will see you again next week. Take care. Bye for now.